So Ryan Walters canceled the regularly scheduled board meeting for tomorrow. You can't even make up the stuff that's going on in Oklahoma these days.
He'll never back down to a woke mob.
So thank you all. And it's a good thing we have one who stays on his case. Thank you, Erica, for keeping him on his toes with woke. So welcome, everyone. Tonight we're doing a little special because, as you know, Ryan Walters canceled the regular board meeting for tomorrow. And so, but before that happened, we had already asked these special guests. So Sean Cummings is on here, Candace J is on here, Erica Kane is on here, and we have Sandra. I thought I just saw her and invited her up as well, so hopefully we can get her up as well. These four human beings have been fighting Walters and trying to fight for our teachers and our students across the state for, well, ever since Ryan Walters has been elected. So grateful to have them on here. Thank you so much for coming on. What would y'all like to start with, if you want to just say more about who you are and why you're so adamant that we have a decent public education system? I'd appreciate that too.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Take it away, Sean.
So I'll go first. My name's Sean Cummings. I'm actually a restaurant and pub owner in Oklahoma City. I always look at stuff like this and go, 94% of our kids go to public schools. And we keep treating public schools like it's a bank account that we can keep pulling money out of. And you know, I just really and truly go, look, I need these kids to go to school and be successful from a selfish standpoint so I can retire. And so then that moves into, why are you mistreating teachers? Very respected profession, always has been. I don't know why. Anytime you have kind of a takeover, for lack of a better word, and my father's from Ireland, so I hear everything firsthand of what happened when he was a kid, that's who they get rid of. Because the teachers are actually the ones that give kids, you know, the ability to discern what's going on. And so I literally, for me, I went to private school and my kids went to private school, so I probably am not the guy that should be doing it, but for some reason or another, we need a bunch of people that look like me to get into this fight, because there just aren't enough. I think that's probably the best thing to say. Who's up next?
Candace, Erica.
Oh, sorry, I was having to get my phone charger. I guess I can go ahead and go. Well, I'm Erica. For those of y'all that don't know, I been in Oklahoma my entire life. I do have two young kids, a kindergartner and a second grader. And I got into this fight once. I mean, I'd seen some of the stuff that Walters was doing when he was Secretary of Education, but it really got it once. I mean, I'd seen some of the stuff that Walters was doing when he was Secretary of Education, but it really got, and you know, he held both hats for a while. And really, it was the white Christian nationalism that set me off. I am very much somebody that is against religion and being forced into our public institutions. That's something that goes back to, you know, like a lot of Oklahomans, I was raised religious. I ended up deconstructing a lot of it. And I think if people want to raise their kids that way, they totally can. But it should not be forced in public schools. Once you start having religion taught in institutions, it's a very slippery slope. We see that with most governments that are ruled by religious rule. So I went to one of the meetings and just thought that I would say my piece as a parent, as a veteran. It took off a little bit, and I have decided to just keep talking because my kids deserve better, and every Oklahoma child deserves better than what Walters is doing.
Okay, well, I'm Candace. I'm a veteran, and I got started with going to the Oklahoma State Board of Education meetings when Erica and Sean and Sandra started going. Um, what got me started was the Christian nationalism and the fascism that is going on within the State Board of Education, erasing history, new books, threatening our 2S LGBTQIA plus students, threatening teachers. I mean, something's got to give, and we have to keep showing up and speaking out against the fear mongering that continues from our state super and wanting to privatize our public education. Um, Public education is the bedrock of our country. It's what gives kids hope, gives kids creativity, helps them to learn that are different than them. It's a whole ball game that we're fighting up against. There's a long list. We could go on and on, but yeah, we need more people to start showing up. We've been doing it for 2+ years, and we need more people to get up there and speak out. More people to get up there and speak out. Every month, they do something to silence. But we continue to show up.
Who's that? Yep.
Keep fighting. Get out there and vote. Vote in your local election. I mean, I know it's a lot to keep up with, but once you start getting in the habit of watching what is up in your local area, you've got to show up at the polls, people.
Yeah.
We have the worst voter turnout in Oklahoma.
In the nation.
Yeah. And we went all red because nobody got out to vote.
So the one thing that I would add to all this, somebody had a deal on there, and they said, when do you come to realize that they don't care what you're saying? It's not a point of whether they care what we're saying. Our deal is to expose this to the public so the public can make different choices. What we are suffering from is straight party voting. People won't vote. They've decided one party is this way and another party is this. And it's too much to try to follow everybody. Fax machines were supposed to make life easier. Cell phones were supposed to make life easier. All of this stuff was supposed to make life easier. At the end of the day, we have to do the hard work or get a trusted friend in our neighborhood to tell us who to vote for.
Yep.
But just going in and picking one party because we like the way they message on a television station that literally, quite frankly, favors them is not the way to make this work. And literally get a trusted friend if you don't the way to make this work. And literally get a trusted friend if you don't have everything. If you think it's expensive to learn how to do this stuff now, wait till this gets worse and find out how expensive it really gets. Because I'm a business owner, and I'm legitimately concerned with 2 years down the line where we end up as a country. And if it ends up costing me a business or anything, I can never make that money back at this age. So we have to really take into consideration that if we don't act now, we're gonna have to act later.
And if I can add to what Sean said about, I've had a lot of people that have asked, like, why do you waste your time? Why, he doesn't care what you said. The first time I went to go speak to the board and to speak to Ryan Walters, I genuinely was speaking to him. I thought, maybe seeing what parents actually think, obviously we know. So anytime that idea went out the window quickly. Now every time that I go speak, I'm speaking to the parents and the teachers who can't be there, who are watching on the live stream, who might see the clips of it later, so that they can feel hope. I will never forget the first time I made that speech, that the feedback that I received was just so many people that were like, oh my gosh, thank you for saying what none of us can. We've all been thinking it this whole time. And I didn't realize that there were so many people in Oklahoma that felt distraught. I mean, and like I went all in. I called him a fascist to his face the first time I ever met him. And so many people were like, oh my gosh, you're saying what nobody else has said. So when we go and we speak at these meetings, really we're speaking to the rest of Oklahoma to know like that there are people that are standing up, but not everybody can make those meetings. And for what Candace was saying, like, absolutely vote. I know it feels like you are a fish swimming upstream, and I totally get it when you talk about bigger issues that, yeah, we can't just vote our way out of some of the really dark times that we're in, but it doesn't hurt. If anything, it can be harm reduction. So, at least vote at the bare minimum. If you have the capabilities, run for office, for a lower level office, for a state level office, for, House rep. Like, you are qualified. You might not think it, but you've heard these people talk. You are qualified. If you don't want to run for office, if that's not your jam, as long as you're at least voting, do community organizing, do mutual aid, do things getting out in the community to just build. That's what we need to be doing, really, to push back against, fascism, because they can't tear apart community as much as they want to try.
Right. And we also need to know who our community is. So when people say community organizing, you can just go door to door and knock on your neighbor's door and go, hey, I'm interested. I'm going to have a coffee this Saturday in the backyard. Let's have everybody over and let's just talk. Even if you disagree, we've got to be able to talk. It's at the higher levels, we're kind of beyond that. It's almost trolling all the time now, and I'm sure one of the other folks would chime in on this, because that's what I do all day long with people. But that isn't how it has to be, but that's where we are. So I'm dealing with things where they are. But I work my neighborhood. I was a city councilman here, so I do know everybody, and I do see them, and I do post who I'm voting for so they can follow it if they want to. Anybody got any opinions on that?
No, I mean, I think that's a good idea. And for going door to door, there's actually something that I can't speak a whole lot to, but that the ODP is rolling up at the new 50 doors closest to you in van thing. They've got literature for it. And I've done it once, and meeting neighbors, and really, because it'll pull up the 50 closest Democrat doors to wherever you are. So if you're at your house, if you're at your work, and then you can go and just introduce yourself and talk to people and get to know, the people that feel the same way against you, and you'll feel less alone.
Political Woodstock says it's already here, the 50 Doors app.
Yeah, I just can't remember exactly how to get to it, so I didn't want to speak a lot of details. But yeah, it's their minivan, and then it's just one list number, I think.
And it takes you about 10 minutes of playing with minivan to understand it.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as it seems. They're dots and maps. And even if you can't read a map, they slide, and you can see literally like a picture of your street with different dots of who's there, and then you just put your finger on it and it tells you who it is.
Yep.
It really does give you some good insight.
Yep.
Yeah, I got introduced to minivan last year when I went knocking on doors.
Right.
Go up to town hall. Town halls are important. I've been to two of them. I went to one, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, keep my days.
You went one on Monday and Tuesday. I saw you at both of them.
Tuesday we were at the ACLU. It was a town hall for public education, and they talked about the federal cuts to education. And Oklahoma has $218 million in federal work on the line here, and we need to take action. People show up to all these town halls. You can keep track of ACLU. They're always putting something on for education. We have lots of information on their website. But, we need to get out there. We need to call Tom Cole and tell him not to defund our students. We need this funding.
Yep.
Well, I know all the panel is voters. I don't know about all the viewers.
Right.
We actually have 2 candidates on here.
Right. Yeah, actually you do. 2 running, and then I was supposed to, but Ryan's chickened out and isn't running for anything.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I have no idea. So my thing is I'm supporting women candidates. If I don't get to run, I'm supporting female candidates because I think they have a harder time getting money and getting people to drive them around. And if you get somebody with experience on how to do town halls and stuff, it really does help to have somebody there, even if I sound like a know-it-all sometimes. Because I did this for my wife at hundreds and hundreds of occasions. And so it's nice to have somebody do it, hopefully. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But look, his poll number, Ryan Walters' poll numbers and everything are so bad. And I think he has serious legal problems right now, because Vicky Behenna hasn't charged him yet or not charged him yet. And the longer she has your stuff, the worse it is.
Yep.
Yep. And then the board attorney quit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's supposedly the reason he isn't doing the deal tomorrow is he doesn't have enough attorneys because they all keep quitting.
Yeah. So it's chaos up in that state, in Oklahoma State Department.
I'm trying to think of how Jacob Rosenkrantz said it. He said, when you get a candidate that goes rogue like this, there should be some guardrails, and the fellow Republicans should be able to rein them in a little bit, and they're just not doing it. They're choosing not to. I think we're going to find out that apathy, not just with voters, but apathy at the Capitol is going to turn out to be our biggest enemy. It's not people, it's apathy. Like they're just not going to do anything because it affects their ability to keep getting paid.
Yeah. Exactly.
The nose is itching.
We show up at the state capitol, go talk to your representative, go talk to your legislators, your Senate. They do listen. You just need to show up and talk to them. You can call and make appointments to meet them in their office, or I know a lot of them will even meet you for coffee if you want a one-on-one. Opening day is February 2nd. We've got a lot of footwork to do until that day.
Yep. And it's their job to listen to us. People forget that. Like, it's their job. They are not only beholden to lobbyists and major donors and these crazy special interest groups. Like, they are elected to represent all of us. And even when they make it seem abundantly clear that they do not give a shit, that doesn't matter. You make them listen to you. Email their office, talk to their legislative assistants, leave messages. Just once enough people start calling, especially, the Republicans in the legislature, they know what's going on. They know how people feel about it. Michelle McCain's going to host a little Q&A tomorrow because I know, especially after Corngate this last month, everybody's like, I'm sorry, Corngate, I forgot about that. But everybody's like, why can't we do anything? We've got to get them out. Well, I mean, the legislature literally cannot until they're in session. And they're not going to recall every single legislator back for something like this. So that is, I think, something that she's going to talk about tomorrow. But, unfortunately, that is just where we are with that. But that doesn't mean that you can't be leaving all of the messages so that when they get back into the office, they can be like, look, I had 550 constituents out of my tiny little rural district, individual identified constituents contacting me about this, like something needs to be done.
Right. So I can give you an example. Years ago when Kyle Loveless was attacking all the teachers, he was a senator, and they were trying to break the unions back then. I did my first video that went viral out there, and it was just to show you how to go talk to a legislator. And really, you just go in from downstairs, you go up to it. Now they've got it sealed off a little, so you should call and make an appointment. But back then, you could just walk in and talk to them. And so I did a video that showed you how to do it, and told everybody to call if they couldn't go. And we shut down their actual telephone system because there were so many calls. And that got rid of the issue with Kyle Loveless. And we have to understand that we have the power to do that. These guys and women only buckle under pressure. It's in their best interest to keep their job. And so if enough people are against it, what I always say is if Democrats would really vote, we could win everything. But we've got so many or non-voting Democrats that are still registered that we're not winning, and we could actually do way better, and then we could be approaching independence and bring that along. So this can be done, and what I will tell you is, and I think Erica would agree on this deal, is we've done so much damage to the Christian nationalist background that supports all of these folks. You notice nobody's heard from Bob Lynn lately, and nobody's heard from the guys from Tulsa and the city elders through all of the corn stuff. Nothing. Bob Lynn's written, he and one other guy wrote an op-ed. That doesn't matter. How many people read that? Social media is where the contact is. And we've exposed these guys because they're the ones really running our government like from a shadow deal. And I know I sound crazy when I say that, but it's the truth. And we have done an excellent job of exposing them. Do you want to jump in there on the back end of that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, that you pretty much said it. We have exposed it, and I have definitely felt crazy for the last couple of years. And then talking about Project 2025 before we got this regime that we have now made me feel like I feel like I'm like QAnon, but I'm like, but it's right there. It's all, the whole paper is right there. But it's still it does make you feel crazy. But a lot of people just didn't really understand it because, think about it, like we are in this all day, every day. And then a lot of people watching, there's only a small percentage of people that are plugged into politics when it's not an election cycle. Like I'm sure you've been on social media that all of a sudden, a few months before an election, you'll see everybody posting about stuff that it's like, I've never seen you post anything, but we've been in it. So they might see an article and maybe read it or read the headline or scroll through some comments, but they don't really understand it. But with just how outrageous Walters has been and how we've kind of matched that energy in return, we've been able to expose how deeply tied in that Christian nationalism actually is. And yeah, we might do it in a trolling way sometimes, but it's getting the messaging out there and it's staying ahead of their narrative that, because they get the pushback on it before they're even able to complete the steps of what they're trying to do. And it gets exhausting always being on the defense. We know that, but we've also had them on the defense a lot too. And so, yeah.
Lots going on in that arena. Now tomorrow, instead of, because he's canceled the board meeting, we're meeting at the state capitol at 11, right?
Yes.
Right. And are we meeting on the rotunda or the second floor? So folks, when we use terms like that, you just go inside, you'll hear people being loud. Just move towards where the noise is. Is that fair? I think that's usually because we're the loud ones.
That we are. But apparently we're not allowed to bring our megaphones in. Anymore.
anymore.
Joke's on you, I don't need a megaphone.
So
What are we good?
what are we trying to accomplish tomorrow? Can somebody elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, I can let Candace say a little bit more, but I know that I think a lot of it is to just be like, oh, well, you've canceled it. We're still here. You're
Right.
scared to feed us, or you're scared to face us. You're running away. But then another thing is getting a lot of people there. Like I plugged Representative McCain's Q&A that I'd have to look at what building or what room it is, but it's in the Capitol. From 12 to 4, she's going to be hosting just an open forum Q&A about public ed. She's invited a lot of other representatives and lawmakers to attend. Not exactly sure who all has RSVP'd, but it is an opportunity for anybody that wants to go in there, and not necessarily even on our side, to go in there and ask actual elected representatives the things that you want to know. So that is something that we want to try to drive people to as well, because I think that it's super, super important.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's room 405.
Okay. I'm interested in how much of that I can go to, but I can go to some. I've got a bunch of stuff going on work-wise tomorrow. And one thing I will tell people I do is I used to be the guy that always showed up in a suit, and then they quit listening to the guy in a suit, so I just started making characters up, and I show up as a character. And it's a little fun, and for those of you who don't really want to be on a photo by the press, you can wear whatever you want. Literally, it has to be able to go through a metal detector, though. And stuff that you carry up there can't have metal, things like that in it. So just try to think of, if you're trying to go through an airport, what you'd want to have there. Because tomorrow I know I'm going to wear my dollar bill jacket, and I'm going to wear my Ryan Walters wig. Since he's not going to be there, I'm going to be there for him. And we'll see how it goes. And I know this sounds stupid, but we are in a clown show, so let's drive the clown car. And I know all of my people are used to hearing me say that, but I really mean it. If you're going to be in a clown car, be the driver.
Right. We just need to show up. Let them know that we're here. That the real Oklahoma voices are here and showing up.
Yep.
I mean, because if we don't have people showing up, then they just think it's their base.
I don't think they think they won anymore. I think they backtracked on that a little bit. But if people don't show up, they think they won.
Yeah. That's the thing. People have, I know it gets tiring, and I know it's exhausting to continue to show up and saying and doing the same thing. But you know what? More people are paying attention to us.
Right. Yep. And Jasmine's checked in with us from down southern part of Oklahoma. So just throwing that out there.
Hey.
And Bailey asked to come up and ask a question.
Uh-oh.
Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, Bailey, we're going to get you up here.
Hello.
Hello, Bailey.
Bailey!
Oh gosh, I'm on the big screen here.
It's kind of scary.
I'm like, wake up one.
Let me get my microphone going. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I don't mean to derail, but Sean, I really wanted to get your thoughts on what just broke on Fox 23. But we had the whole class wallet scandal. They just said on Fox 23 that $10 million plus of COVID funds were misused and misallocated by the state, and people were paying off cars with it.
Oh yeah, right. So a guy that used to go to the same church as me, Gino DeMarco, was kind of the original person that mismanaged money, and nothing happened to him. So everybody watched that, and so they did the same thing. The glass wallet deal. Sandra, as Ryan says, that's Sandra, has the video of Ryan Walters telling them that they don't need to put any guardrails up. And what guardrails mean is you just kind of want to keep people in a lane. If they're giving away money, somebody has to approve it. And they did a deal where it was just Walters approving it himself, which he had no business doing, but he did. And look, they got away with that. And Cindy Bird, I think, is on the up and up. I really do. But it's politically expedient. This is coming out now, so we can't be naive about that. As people are announcing running for office, but she also busted him for this, but couldn't get the legislature to move on anything.
Nope.
There's so much stuff on this guy, and it's a weird runaround of it can't go to Gettner Drummond because Gettner Drummond was going to run against him for governor. Well, Walters is obviously not running for governor anymore. So how about Gettner Drummond's people get it together, and they, God knows they got a 3-inch big file that they could go through and start charging him with this stuff. I don't understand why we're afraid to charge an elected official while they're in office when they clearly did something wrong and did not follow federal guidelines. I don't get it.
They don't want to make their base mad.
Base mad, right? Yeah. But sooner or later, we got to take that risk.
Well, it makes you wonder what Ryan Walters has on all of them.
Right. Yeah. Or if it's Bob Lynn has a big file on him somewhere. I don't see Walters being that organized, but I see his people being organized.
Because the city elders, we all know the city elders has their nails in everybody, especially the Freedom Caucus.
Right.
The Freedom Caucus, every time we got something moving within the House and the Senate,
Right.
marching up all about that day.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, hang on, let me mute myself.
Yeah. Go ahead, Liz.
But yeah, I mean, it was like the social studies standards. We got those.
Yeah.
They were going to put a proposal out to send them back, but the Freedom Caucus marched up there the night before and got it pulled.
And the Freedom Caucus, so people know that they are Christian nationalists. They're the real thing. And is there 10 of them in total? It's not a huge number, but it's enough to force stuff through so they can get the actual amounts they need. The Democrats, unfortunately, we need to get more of them in there. I mean, until we elect more of them, they can't do anything.
Yeah.
And it's not really fair to blame them, but
Yeah.
it's frustrating.
And these are the people that want to get rid of, no-fault divorce, that they want it to go to family, one household, one vote, which basically means women don't get to vote. And I'm pretty sure, wasn't there one about getting a bonus or getting some sort of credit for having a certain amount of kids? Just really just out there stuff. And yeah, it seems crazy, but these are elected representatives, and this is conversations that's happening in mainstream politics now, not just 4chan, not just that's why people need to pay attention, and that's also why the Republican Party are so concerned with straight party voting. Right. Because they can get those people in without anybody, because everybody just blindly votes for the letter R.
Yeah, there's no way anybody voted for Dusty Devers on purpose if they knew what he was about.
Right.
But there's, I'd say we have a good maybe 7 or 8 absolute whack jobs that are so far out there. They got female votes. That's what's astounding through straight party voting. And there's no way an educated female votes for these guys. Because for one, they don't want them to be educated. And on top of everything else, and I think I'm on the screen with all women, so I'll let you all talk about that instead of me.
Yeah.
I had a jump scare yesterday when I was watching the news because Gabe Woolley popped up, and I was like, oh, I forgot he got elected.
Yes. He was almost laughable, but he's coming along.
He won his primary by 1 vote.
God, wow.
But that's the other thing that makes me mad is that people say, well, you know what? I'm going to switch to Republican so I can marry.
Yeah.
And that just incinerates the Democratic Party, because if I want to run for office and I look at the numbers of what the party has, and if it's too low, I'm not running.
Yep.
I have to have a viable chance to win, or I have to have a viable chance to get somebody else to win by knocking somebody out.
Yep.
I'm willing to play 3D chess. But when everybody switches, so whoever switched over to being Republican so they could vote against Walters needs to switch back.
Yeah.
That's over.
It also reinforces that, because a lot of the people that politics isn't just some random person that decides to run for office and then just goes. There are huge groups that work on centralized messaging from the national level down.
Right.
And when you see somebody like Walters come into office in Oklahoma, and then a big increase of people leaving the Democrat Party to go to the Republican Party, they think that means that their policies are popular, so they're going to keep doing it.
And they look
I know it is frustrating.
Right. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I know it is frustrating, and I know there's a lot of people that have lost faith in the Democratic Party. I almost did, because I have a lot of problems with how the Democratic Party from the top down operates. And I am not, as somebody that is running as a Democratic candidate, I will call out the Democratic Party for their BS all of the time.
We allow it in our party to complain. It's not allowed on one of the other ones. But look, Gabe Woolley is trying to be the next Ryan Walters. And I think they have a lot more in common than most people realize. And Gabe will do anything to be on the spotlight.
Except that we've actually got Gabe's Grindr profiles.
Right.
We haven't got Ryan's yet, but we've seen Gabe's.
Well, we needed to get Ryan's when they were at the Republican convention, because you know that was active. I know. That was our chance.
I was telling my husband, like I said, Gabe Woolley popped up on the news, and I was telling my husband about him. I was like, yeah, he used to be gay, and then now he prayed the gay away. Right. And he was like, prayed the gay away? And I was like, yeah. Now he's in cahoots with an ex-gay porn star.
Right. I mean, the grouping, like, here's the thing. I mean, the grouping of, show me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. I mean, I think that's pretty fair. And people will say to me, and they go, you got some weird friends? And I go, I know, but they're all smart as hell. Absolutely love them all. That grouping of people are all acting like they're something else. Yeah. And we're all Dems here. Nobody cares. I mean, we don't care. Yep. You can run as yourself in our party. Yep. It's sad. I mean, I find that sad, but it also shows other people that they can be more successful hiding stuff. Yeah. And that sucks. I mean, that's such a bad way to live. I mean, it's just a hard way to live.
It's got to be such an exhausting existence to have such a high public profile with a fake persona. And you're literally just doing what you think that they want to hear. But, man, it'd be hard.
And you'd have to have a pollster, like on speed dial to know what you need to say.
Yeah. And a fixer.
And Gabe's got like neck tattoos, like job ender neck tattoos, and still pulled this off. Mm-hmm. So that's straight party voting for you right there, even though he only won by one vote. So I had people send me dirt on him, but I didn't know any of the people that were sending it to me. And they're like, he's going to win this primary. And I go, that is really not for me to decide. But I also don't know you well enough to use your stuff until I can verify it.
Yeah.
And I'm still not sure what they sent me was legit or not. I mean, knowing him more than I did back then, it was probably legit.
I called him out on X, Twitter, whatever it's called, and with his old Grindr screenshot pictures. And he was like, that was the old me. And I'm like, doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. I think it was still active when it was found. I don't think it had been taken down. And
masks in it. So you do like masks.
Yeah, everybody likes masks now, but we couldn't get to wear them 3 years ago. It's amazing how that turned. Well, so from a female perspective, and seriously, and I'm not trying to control the conversation here, what do you want to tell other women to get them to run for office? Because my thing I always say is, it's easier if you have a person with you, because you do need a driver and all this other stuff and somebody to help organize. And the first time out is really tough because you just don't know what you're doing. What would you all say that people need to know if they want to run and they're apprehensive?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is how much support there actually is for you out there already built in, how many groups there are. Sally's List is obviously one of the best ones in Oklahoma for progressive women that are wanting to run. So there's tons. I'm sure anybody's probably seen like the Run for Something, Vote Run Lead. There's lots of national organizations. National Democratic Training Council, I think, has tons and tons of different trainings, that there actually is a lot of support there. And there are like the consultant class is, you know, it is what it is in Oklahoma. And like sometimes I could be a little predatory, but like there are people that are like, they don't want to run for office, but they know exactly how to win, how to do the numbers, what you need to do. And that really, it is just, for as far as state level, like the reason I ran for 68 in the 2024 cycle was I had really realized over 70% of our House seats went uncontested.
Right.
So they had a Republican primary, and then there was no House, there was nothing even on the general ballot because the primary winner was the one that just automatically got the office because no Democrat or no independent was running against them. And there's absolutely no reason that 70% of our seats should essentially be decided by one party's primary. So even if you run and you only get 20% of the vote, you know what? That's 20% of the people that realize you're out there, and then that sets up success for the next cycle, whether it's you. But then it's really like, it's actually like it's hard work, but it's a lot easier than people think it is because there are so many people that are out there that are willing to help you, and that we do need women leaders. I think that women have a unique perspective, and that we can go toe to toe with a lot of these men, that especially the ones that are trying to legislate about our bodies and all of this other stuff. So that's what I would say is that, you know, don't let the imposter syndrome and the internalized misogyny think that for some reason you're not qualified. There are no official requirements for an Oklahoma, like you don't have to have a degree. You don't have to, I mean, like obviously I do, but a lot of the people that are down there making our laws don't. They graduated high school and they might have worked for their daddy's company for a little bit before they got their seed money to get office. So do it.
I see Sandra's with us.
Oh, I see.
And Representative Rosecrans just joined us.
Hello. How you doing, Jacob?
Sandra.
Hi. Sorry, I'm so late.
Hold on. Let me see. I haven't done TikTok in forever.
That's all right. Just post on. What we're talking about right now is things that these ladies can tell other women that are running for office that they would need to know. Now that one of them's joined us. Yes.
If not you, then who? If you have a voice,
Exactly.
something you need to say, then you need to step up to the plate. Yes, it is scary. Yes, for months and months. You can ask Alyssa about this. I have mulled it over. Are we sure we can do this? Are we ready to do this? And then when I get out in the community and I talk to people and I hear what they have to say, then I have to use my voice and use what I can do for the communities around us, because they deserve people up in that Capitol that are listening to the real Oklahoma voices and not the status quo.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I think, nothing to be sorry about. You're right.
And not only do we need people to run for state level stuff, but people overlook the local races, like county commissioner. I mean, school board. Like you're running for school board, right, Candace?
No, I'm running.
No, she's running lieutenant governor.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah. She just announced a couple of weeks ago.
Shoot big.
Oh,
Yep.
well,
Hey, there's no reason not to.
1,000,000%.
Right. Exactly.
I've seen her logo. It looks amazing.
Cool. All right, who wants to jump in there?
We got about 15 more minutes before this ends and we start Hump Day exchange with Representative Rosecrans.
Right.
Sandra needs to fill in on what she's been doing.
I can't hear you.
Can you say it again?
Yeah. Sandra.
So what I would like to talk about is public comment. What we need to do for today until September 8th is public comment for the the changes that Ryan Walters wants to do to our state report card.
So, Sandra, can I jump in here?
Yeah.
So being the person that's not a teacher, not involved really in education outside of just yelling at people, could you put out what people, how do they say it? Like when you're making, like, I don't know what that means. When somebody says, hey, read through this and do public comment, my only public comment is, why are you lying? You know, does that count?
So I just spoke to a senator. I have about 17 different things that I'm going to put out that have the reasons why this is a bad idea. The main important reason why this is a bad idea is because he will have unfettered access to all of the federal money that would be coming in. So everything that would go to our students with disabilities, to our migrant students, to just all of the federal money that would come in, he would not have any accountability for it whatsoever. So the example that I gave this senator was, let's say he gets $5 million in a block grant. Nobody would know that, and there would be no paper trail for those $5 million. Wow. So that's the way he has written it. So through these 17 different things, and I'll post it here. I just got to pretty it up. And then it'll explain what he's doing. And on some of them, I have like the statute number next to it so that you can go if you want to do more research and find out. But that's the big thing, is that he will control all of our assessments and he will control all of our money. So any test that a teacher takes or a student takes, he would have full control over.
Wow.
And not just him, but anybody else after him. Yeah. So I will say that the state board has to approve this, and I guarantee you that's why tomorrow's board meeting was canceled.
Oh, wow.
Is because this probably would have been on the agenda, or they would have brought it up in the agenda. And I'm pushing really hard that they reject his changes. They cannot approve them. The state board is literally our final straw. It is our last line of defense to stop this guy. Now, I will say also that he needs permission from Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. I don't know how that'll go, because everything that he wants to do is Project 2025.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to keep that in mind, whether they're, bickering for real or whatever. It's still Project 2025 that he's going to push. So that public comment in September 8th. On September 12th, and here's another big one, we have public comment on the social studies textbooks that he has vetted. So you can go, every congressional district right now has a place where anybody can go and look at these textbooks, and I will give that information too. You can go to the State Department website and look it up, but for example, I'm in Congressional District 5, so my place is UCO, and I have already contacted the lady at UCO. She gave me the floor plan, she gave me where to park, she told me what floor the books were on, and I'm serious. After 12 minutes of emailing her, she immediately responded with all of that information. Said, come on over, you can take video, you can take pictures, you can do a TikTok, you can do whatever you want to let the people know exactly what textbooks are going to be coming into our school system. So that public comment is until September 12th, or it's open until September 12th. Right. So we really need those two big pushes.
So who reads the public comment, and why does it matter?
Okay, great question. So public comment, if nobody does public comment, Ryan Walters does not have to do the meeting that is scheduled for October 3rd. He can literally say, nobody disapproved of what I was doing, so let's go ahead and pass it.
Wow.
Well, the entire reason for public comment is to vet the comments that come through, and then they have to go and redo them, or agree to redo them, or reword them, or whatever, depending on how many people say that they don't like whichever part. Wow. So it's to, be accountable for the public comment.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Representative Rosecrans, can we get your take on this? Oh, you're muted.
Yep. I don't think we've lost him.
Hurt. I love it.
I am not used to this. Sorry.
You look like wrapping paper, Jacob.
Yeah, you look great.
Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
There you go.
I was doing some yard work. No, I wasn't. I was just shit posted. You know how it is.
We know how it is.
No, so your question was about all of the, first of all, the fact that we have to explain all of this, it shows you the biggest issue. These folks know that nobody's going to go on and do public comment. They make it so hard to find. They make it so hard to do. I mean, if I was in charge, I'd be like, no, this is for real public comment. Like we would do.
Why is he not promoting this?
Because he's trying to get done what he wants to get done. And here's the funny thing. Unfortunately, in this situation, he's going to do it anyway. I'm not saying give up. I'm not. But I'm just saying that it's an uphill battle right now because we don't have the folks on the other side of the aisle with any spines to try to hold him accountable. I don't like him. You'll hear that all day long. And that's true. But then you don't have anybody that's like, oh, I'll take care of this. It's just, well, we had Mark McBride, and he tried. He really did. But and he was also termed out. So he found his strength at the end there. Maybe we'll have more people. But no, that's my take on this. Sandra's absolutely right. But at this particular point, you can do 100 comments, and I don't think it'll stop what's going to happen.
Dang. That's tough.
So we need to look into making sure, A, that we elect experienced people, at the very least. And I'm working on like a suite of bills. They're not really necessarily directed towards Ryan Walters, but to prevent another Ryan Walters.
Right.
And that's pretty popular along the other side of the aisle too. Some of those, I'm shopping them to those folks. I'm not stupid. I've been up there for 8 years, and I understand that it's going to take something from that side to prevent this. Now, having good conversations, 100%, really am. There's been that idea. You even heard Kevin Stitt talk about it. How he wants to maybe appoint the superintendent. That's not perfect. That's not perfect at all. But it's better than what we have. Let me tell you why. Because at least he can have like a committee or somebody that says, "Hey, this person has experience, and this person should be appointed." Again, you have to just. It's a bad idea, but it's better than electing some super uber far right a-hole like what we have right now. Am I allowed to talk on this? I don't know.
So you can't say the corn word, and you can't do my favorite stuff, the MF words and stuff like that. They will slow down everything. They won't knock us out. They just slow us down.
Can we show a shirt of you doing it?
We can probably show the shirt.
Let me see if I have one.
Yeah. So tomorrow, where's everybody going to try to meet? Because we're down to about 4 or 5 minutes left to go. So where are we going to try to meet tomorrow? There you go. There's the famed descent of all the things to be known for.
Oh, I think it's perfect. You're a man.
It is. I'm totally okay with it.
No, you're a man of the times. I think more of us need to be like this. Be a grumpy old man. Not that you're old, but grumpy,
I am old.
Just happy birthday.
62, baby.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday.
So tell me where we're going to try to meet tomorrow so we can get somewhat organized before the deal.
I will be at the Hodge building. I don't know about y'all.
What time are you going to go? What time are you going to be there?
As soon as I drop my kid off, I'm going to roll up there. And there's some Norman folks that are coming out too, but I have no numbers. I can't guarantee anything.
Right.
It's going to be chaos. And that's
I'll meet you at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
The usual time that we say, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I'll be there
At the Hodge.
I can get all my stuff done by then, so I'll see you guys down there at 9.
I think Poga Miller's coming out too. I'm trying to get some more folks just because we need folks. We need a lot of folks.
We need bodies, and it's interesting. People always go, "I am so happy you do that," and I go, you can just come out there too.
Come out.
I think Erica Wright is going to be out there too.
The which one?
Erica Wright. I think she's
cool.
going to be out there too.
Good.
We will. And there's another thing that McCain's doing, Representative McCain's doing that isn't attached to any of this.
Right.
And she can't have it attached to it. They'll put the kibosh on that at the Capitol. But there's something there as well at noon where you can kind of.
All right. Okay, we got about 3 minutes left to go. What does anybody want to cover? Sandra, here's the thing. Would you be willing to meet people in Edmond so we can, because if I go out there and look at the book, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I don't know what page. I don't know how to do it.
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
I have a list of that stuff too. Yes.
Okay. How about we meet out there and we make a couple of TikToks together?
I say we do that.
I'm done. I got a busy day tomorrow, and then I think I'm fairly free. So,
Oh, I'm off on Friday.
okay, then let's plan on Friday.
I was gonna
Sounds
ask
good.
her if I could go up there when you went up there to take a look, because there's more than one textbook that we have to
Yeah.
have. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And we could have somebody in every congressional district looking at it. That'd be perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal in
So that they could talk to their people about it. Yeah.
right. Yeah, and if they've got any social media presence, we can get everybody to basically kind of launch at the same time.
Right.
I would be,
And then it's an issue. Right.
I would be happy to push this for CD1, 100%.
Awesome.
And I was going to
Perfect.
say, I put it in the group chat, but once you get it compiled, I'll put it on our link tree. For those of y'all in the chat that don't already follow, we're Oklahoma Education.
Right.
We are here on TikTok, Woke Mob,
Yep.
and the Woke Mob that Ryan Walters runs from. All the,
Literally.
lots of resources there. That's how you'll know that you have people when we go to these things. And then I also will plug that I am running for CD1.
Yes.
Um,
And you're an awesome candidate.
So I also have an Erica 4OK besides this account and my website and everything. So if you're up in the Tulsa area, would love to have you a part of this campaign. We're just getting started, but it's going to be exciting.
I love
Where
that
would you?
we're all from all over the place.
Awesome.
We got Norman, Ronnie.
Who are you taking out, Erica?
Yeah.
Who are you
So
replacing?
there is a Democratic primary, so we'll have that in June. But the incumbent is none other than Mr. Kevin McDonald's franchise owner that sold them all off once immigration stuff started happening. Hearn.
Amazing fact. It's an amazing fact right there.
Yes.
Okay, we got like a minute and a half. Who's taking us out?
Real quick, I wanted to say something.
Yes.
So there was a woman named Tiffany in the comments. She said that her kids' preschool brought or sent home a religious coloring sheet. And so for anybody that experiences that, any kind of religious stuff at a public school, you can contact the Freedom from Religion Foundation and they will lawyer up for you. And usually free of charge. I believe it's always free of charge, but definitely check out the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And that's all.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Bailey.
All right. Who's closing us
Anna?
out?
30 seconds each. Say your final say.
Who's going first? Sandra, jump on. You were late in.
Just show up. Show up.
Yep.
Representative Rosecrans will be there at 9:00. He sent out the invitation, so I'll be there too.
Yep, let's go. Let's show up.
Okay. And tomorrow I'll be down there as well. I don't know how long I'm staying, but I'll be down there. I'll see you guys down a little after 9.
All right.
I love it. Thank you all for being